Hey everyone, welcome back to HQ in the Know with Adam So Fun. Today we are talking about the glide foot because we're continuing that kind of foot series. And what is the glide foot? It's the foot that kind of looks like a little spoon, or a little bowl, more like it. There's been multiple renditions of the glide foot, and I love that Handi Quilter always kind of comes back to the customer and tries to think like, how can we make this better? The first glide foot was a smaller kind of bowl with a really tiny hole. And some of the customers were having issues hitting that hole, or the needle not being in there perfect. So secretly, without anyone knowing, they came out with I call this glide foot 1.5. The hole got bigger, but the foot was the same size. The issue that customers still had was it was a little bit harder to thread the needle because of how small the foot was. So now we're at the glide foot 2. So for those of you asking what's the difference between my foot and the new one, this is the difference. It's a bigger, almost a $half size bowl, easier to thread, the hole's nice and large, so people aren't kind of hitting it as much. It is a plastic foot. They did that on purpose just in case. Here we already have a glide foot on our machine, and you're like, okay, well, what does a glide foot even do? The great thing about the glide foot is because it's bowl shaped, it's gonna slide or glide right over anything you're stitching. So let me pull up my bobbin. So for edge to edge, if you have a pro stitcher, or you do pantographs, or you're just doing edge to edge quilting, when you have the glide foot on, let's see, I didn't even look at my settings this morning. But when you have the glide foot on, it ends up making that stitching or that foot just slide over everything. So maybe you have a Lone Star or something that has really bulky seams. This is gonna slide right over the seams. Really easy. I'm gonna move. Nothing to it. It's just like having the regular foot on, except for this one's gonna slide over. It means you don't have to babysit it as much if you are doing that edge-to-edge quilting with any of your ways. Now I'm gonna put some pieces of batting down, and we're gonna pretend that these pieces of batting, maybe it's something that's couched, or maybe this is your bulky seam, or maybe it's the side of your quilt. You'll watch as I stitch. It's gonna glide right over everything. It's not getting caught up like a regular foot would. It can go right over everything. So if you have applique on your quilt, then you're sliding right over your applique if you wanted to quilt on top of that. Maybe you have lace, you're quilting something old and vintage. So this makes edge-to-edge quilting, anytime you're quilting over something that's on there, maybe it's a quilt with rick-rack, right over the top of everything, makes life so much easier. So that is the glide foot. Make sure to check it out. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to the Stitchhouse Texas channel. Hit that bell icon so you're notified when new videos